We'll let Richard speak about his work. When Frank asked us to co-curate this show, his only real requirement or kind of the outline of what he wanted was for us to talk about and exhibit what is photography today. And so we felt that it's such a broad subject and topic, and it can go in so many different directions that I had gone to the Guerrilla Girls that talked about women in the arts that they had at UWM, and I've read a lot of other stuff about still how women are certainly less represented than the male population as artists. And so Jessica and I both agreed that kind of showcasing women artists for this exhibition up front was the way to showcase contemporary photography today. And then we went about finding the 4 artists that we have here tonight.
And one thing that we found as we looked for work, we were looking for work that had to do with women talking about their identity in some way, and we actually found that the work really fits together very well. Each one sort of approaches the idea of what it means to be a woman in contemporary society and how to sort of interpret that to make it work for them. And I think that the work really shows that, and we really, really enjoy what the show has come to be, and we thank all the artists for being in it, and thank you for coming to see the show.
And then just one other thing, as we, as at least in my progression as an artist, it's something that I pursued more, later in life, and it's a difficult obstacle to get, into shows and to start, getting some momentum going with your artwork. And so it was also a deliberate decision on both our parts to show artists that are more in mid-career, and then some artists that are just starting out their careers. And I think all of us who in this room are artists, if you ever get that opportunity to curate a show, I think it's important to kind of look in that direction and bring some of those younger people along.
I don't have anything else really to say.
All right. And here's Richard.
Thank you. My name is Richard Biemann. I'm a photographer. Since 1989, I've been in a darkroom. This is a little bit different for me. This is my first show of digital photography, but it's a combination of old and new. What I've done for these pictures here is use a old 1950s Kodak Duoflex camera with big piece of glass in there and shoot that viewfinder. It's called Through the Viewfinder Photography. My friend Pat Ryan kind of turned me onto that and helped me figure out the way to do it. I use a tube and use my digital camera to shoot that viewfinder, and it gives a picture with that edge around it, soft corners, dust and dirt. If you are into the iPhone, it's like a Instagram kind of thing, but there's a little more to it. I've got to get on the computer and work it. So for most of these, I've done a little bit of tweaking with a program called Corel Paint Shop Photo Pro X3 or something like that. I like an effect that's on there called hot wax. So some of these have that. Some of them are just straight shots. What you get from looking through that camera. The show kind of fell together very quickly. I had another idea for what I wanted to do for this, and when I got my prints back, they weren't what I expected. But luckily, a couple months ago, I stumbled upon this camera in a camera shop and haven't been able to put it down since. So I've been taking pictures like this almost exclusively since I found it. So it's really been a kind of a neat toy to play with, and it's been a lot of fun. These pictures all here are either taken in my yard, the park next to my house, or in my house. So I didn't have to go very far. All within a short period of time too, within the last 2 months, even probably more than that. 2 months ago and a month before that. So I think in the blurb that I wrote for Frank, it was springtime, we didn't have a lot of sun, so putting the camera on the ground and holding it steady that way was how I kind of had to approach these shots. So it gives it a low angle on most all of these. And I like the fences that I've built, or my wife's garden. My wife is right here. So they all kind of have some of that foliage or angle of the lines of the fences or the park bench, those kind of things to it. I don't have too much more to say about it. Like I said, it kind of happened kind of quickly. I was working on another idea, but these all turned out to be fun. Again, very personal to me because it's just my yard and my surroundings that, you know, the block I live on. So lots of people are interested in how it came about or how to do it. So I've been showing that around, and I got to thank Pat for helping me out.
Could I ask you one question about the colors are amazingly vibrant in there. Was that given a dreary day or something, the colors remain really vibrant? Was that part of the software you used to enhance?
Not necessarily. The one that is called Vibrant was a bad exposure, and it just kind of came out that way.
I wouldn't have guessed that a bad exposure.
Actually,
and the blues are amazing.
Actually, you'll get better colors with softer light.
Yeah.
When the sun is out and you've got a lot of contrast, you're going to lose something. The eye sees differently than the camera.
But through how many lenses did you get? You still captured that? That's amazing.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting. One of the first ones I took was this one right here. And one of the things that I noticed about it was that I was getting some depth there. That the background is is soft, and that's not necessarily a function of this curved glass that I'm shooting through.
Yeah.
But I was still getting some kind of focusing through my camera, which is kind of neat. Because when you just look at this, you know whatever you see through this viewfinder is going to be in focus.
Sure, and you've melded old school and new school and still come up with something really amazing.
So I was able to get some kind of effect going between the different cameras there. So
very lovely.
some of them I did do a little bit more to them to edit them. This one over here, I took a lot of color out of the one with the steps there.
Yeah. Oh.
The one next to that, I added some diffusion and glowing.
Just
This one over here, I played with the trees and the background, the top of the picture to soften it and change the color there. More of the rest of them are probably straight shots. But
it's amazing. I really like it.
When did you get out of the dark room?
I'm in the dark room a lot. I still do. I started out at Central Photo in Sheboygan, which people might remember as Wonderful World or Paradigm before it moved. Now it's NZ's Bar and Grill. At one time it was a photo lab, and I started there in '89 printing black and white. And over the years I have moved with the business, shut down a business, and I still have a darkroom, a couple of enlargers in my home. So there are a few people that are still shooting black and white film, and I get to print their stuff. So I'm still in the darkroom.
Because something is lost when you go to all those automatic focus things, right?
Yeah, it's a different beast. Yeah, it is. It is. I can tell the difference. I don't know if generations coming along will be able to know the difference between a film piece and a digital piece. But those of us that are of the age where we started out with film or have had a lot of experience in the darkroom, especially with black and white, where it's a lot of hands-on, I think you can see the difference in the prints when you see them. There's so much now that doesn't even make it to a print. That's just online, and I think that's changing photography a lot. And this, just one button click to adjust photos, I think is taking away some of the thought process that a photographer goes through to come up with an image. So I play with mine a lot. I look at them in different ways. I'm very rarely satisfied with the one-click adjustments that are out there. So I try to work at it. Thanks for coming out. Hope you enjoyed the pictures you saw. I've got more online. I have a blog. It's called RB Photography Blog, and I have a Flickr page where there are a lot more examples of stuff that I've done. Thank you.
Thank you.